What did you get out of this relationship as the main result?
Um, so I think one of the big things that I got out of this relationship was um, figuring out what I am and what that means and how I can position myself to employers and how I can position myself to myself. What is it that I
Hmm.
like to do? What do I enjoy? Take a step back, think about who I am, and that really was helpful to me in terms of building my profile, everything from my resume, my LinkedIn, which you helped me a lot with, which I think looks so much better. And I'm getting, even now after I've received an offer, still getting people coming, oh, your LinkedIn looks great. I want to connect with you. Um, but also just internally, having the confidence to be able to position myself because now I really kind of have the verbiage. I kind of understand how all these little pieces of my career kind of fit together into a fuller profile. And that's just even that has helped boost my confidence. And I think that's the second part I would say. I don't know why my confidence got shredded a little bit. Um, all sorts of things happened to me on a personal professional level in the past year or two, and I walked out feeling a little deflated and a little lost. And I needed the confidence boost to remind myself who I was, what I've given, what I'm capable of, and to be able to speak to that with more confidence. I don't like talking about myself, but you have to be able to put yourself out there and you have to be able to learn. So I tend to hide. Um, and being in a position where I'm in a completely new place, I'm not in the middle of New York City anymore. I don't have a big network around me, and I need work, and I need good work that's going to maintain me, that's going to make me happy, that's going to pay my bills, but also is not going to be, you know, a step down from where I was in New York, which is a challenge when you're out here. And so I needed those skills. And so I had to put all those puzzle pieces together. And I think with your coaching, that's exactly what I was able to achieve. And the best example is I remember the first interview that I had coming out to Florida before I met you. It was a disaster. And I walked away feeling because I didn't know how to speak to myself. And they were asking even the most basic questions. I was flubbing and walking away going, why couldn't I answer that question? Oh my God, they're just asking me
Hmm.
basic questions. I can't even answer them. And I saw at the end, of course, I'm sitting in interviews and, impressing large companies now. And if it wasn't for being able to speak to myself well, be able to speak to what I can bring, being able to speak to my past and how that can attach to what a company needs now, which was a big thing. As one of the things you mentioned is it's not about you, it's what you bring, and does what you bring match what they need? And being able to position that and be able to answer those questions because that's what they mean by why this job, why this role, why this company, to even be able to answer that question in a way that was proper, who I am and why that I think that glues very well with your mission. Those are the kinds of things that really just uplifted me and was able to let me secure a role and hopefully bring the confidence and the strength to it that I need when I do start. I got this job and it's almost a promotion, and I was just hoping to be on the same level, and I got a promotion, and
It
um,
is a promotion. Remote, Florida compared to New York salaries, and
yeah.
you got 30% more. I mean,
And it's
hats off to
also
you. Beautiful.
a company that's in software. My issue, and was continuously my issue, was that often the question was, but you don't have this industry experience. But again, I think when you walk in with some confidence and say, but this is what I do have, and the industry I can figure
Yes.
out. I think I wasn't presenting even on my resume and my LinkedIn as I should. So we talked about some visual things that I did, having a better header image and things like that. But even just being able to reposition, there was how do I speak to a few years there where I was, working on different industries and jobs and putting that together? How do I speak to 10 years? I mean, one of my challenges was I had 10 years at a company where I had several different jobs, and connecting all of that together. I needed a coherent story. I didn't know how to make my storyline coherent. And you helped me do that. And part of you doing that was to start with, okay, let's look at your resume, let's look at your LinkedIn, let's see how you're positioning yourself online. And once I was able to position myself online in a way that made more sense, both online to others, but also to me, I think that also helped me position myself as I spoke to my background. Point that I think was really helpful, and I think it helped me also select these kinds of jobs and these kinds of roles, that like the role I have now is to really take a look at what made me happy and when I felt the best. So this was a role that I would not have, I don't think 10 months ago, have applied for a few months ago when I first started, because it was a content writer, senior content writer. Now, one of the things was, is that step back from somebody who's been an executive and has managed teams across different functions. And, now I'm just a writer, you know what I mean? But I took my ego out. They made the decision when they discussed with me, hey, yes, you are a writer. You can write and you will write a lot. It is still a writing job, but you're also bigger than that. You're a one-man ship that can lead and build and produce a schedule and, and help build out a strategy on top of execution. I don't know if I had just seen the title 7 months ago, feeling like, no, but I need to climb up this ladder, even though I don't really want to climb up this ladder because I wasn't happy climbing up this ladder.
I think, yeah, it took us a while, right, to
Yeah.
demystify that idea that in order for you to get to the executive levels, you have to have like 100 people under you. My passion is not that. Why am I pursuing those
Why am I
things,
pursuing
right?
it?
The
Yeah.
moment that you had that, allows you to show what you're good at, and people make decisions. Look, you're more than this. You're not just this. So
Yeah.
it's natural. I think that one of the biggest points is the title thing. A lot of people get stuck to the idea of the title, and it's wrong. Follow your passion. If you love
Absolutely.
the process, you're gonna get this on the interview. 10 minutes into it, you got your promotion.
Yeah. And I think also one of the things you mentioned is, I was telling you that there were certain questions that was being asked, and I don't know why they made me uncomfortable. And you mentioned something of, well, maybe it's not simply that you just can't answer it, it's that you don't want to do that, and that's not your thing.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that. So I definitely think that, you know, I think that you provided some really good tactical, um, ways, advice. And I don't think that, I don't think that, like I said, I don't know if they had planned to give me the salary and the role that I got. I think they wanted a content writer. They were almost a little concerned that I was too senior when they were speaking to me. And then they made a decision, well, now let's get a senior person. Let's not just get a writer. Let's get somebody who has these skills. These skills are great. And so like I said, I don't think it not only did it land me a job, I really feel that the positioning and learning how to do that well with all of these mini goals and all of the things that I needed to do internally. When I came to that interview, I positioned myself not just to get the job that they had put out there, but to get a promotion before I even got started. I think I definitely recommend you as a mentor because I remember when you positioned yourself in the beginning, you said, look, I'll be tough. I'll cut to the chase. I might even hurt your feelings, and that's okay. I never had a situation where you hurt my feelings, to be honest. If anything, you always were boosting me up. But I do feel that there was a lot of honesty that you provided me that I needed. I've never been through a mentorship before, but I figured, hey, how could it hurt, right? Maybe talking to somebody who has a strong background, who can understand where I am a little bit and be objective related to, let's say you want to work out. Sometimes you get a workout trainer, not because you don't know how to do a squat, because you get a workout trainer because you won't do the squat. There were times you gave me a homework pad and I did not want to do it. And I would put it off and put it on and be like, okay, I have this, I can't, I have a meeting with Pat on Thursday. I got to start taking this seriously, building out a day schedule. And it was not fun at first, right? It's things like that. You can, even if you understand, or even if you emotionally say, yeah, I probably should have done that. You don't. That's the reality. You don't, unless there's somebody who's sitting there saying, all right, in 2 weeks, I want to see that you did this. And I think that's extraordinarily important in itself. Like I said, I think it's, it forces you to go down a path that maybe you even know what some of the answers are, but you're just not going to get to it on your own. I think for me, mentorship, even though it's, confined to the career level, is half psychiatrist and half tactician. And I think a lot of people need that. I think a lot of people, even people who've had a lot of success in their role, and sometimes need to reset, rethink, and have somebody guide them down that path. I admit there were times you told me, okay, these are 3-4 things you want to do. And I sat there and went, great. And then I got off, and I'll be honest, in the back of my head, I went, fuck. At the same time, like I said, it's been 3 months, and I just, I walked in, I walked in feeling just completely lost and deflated. Even though I was excited about my new life here, it brings challenges when you move, and those challenges aren't over for me, right? I'm still adjusting, and I still don't have my friendship network that I had in New York, and you feel a little bit lonely or a little bit lost. I'm now starting this position, and I can't tell you that I'm walking in there like, I am walking in there like this, but there's also a piece of me that's scared because you were able to help me cut through some of the noise and focus on things that I need to focus on to be able to get from A to Z, because it was a lot of noise.
You're the first one that got a promotion in an interview. I'm loving this, but I'm going to be talking about